we on? All right, there we go. I was tapping the mic, and it wasn't doing the little doo-doo thing. So anyways, sorry about the late delay. I was trying to do something new. I was out in the shop for a bit. We were just going over things. We will be closed tomorrow and Christmas Eve. So we usually give our team Christmas Eve and Christmas Day off. Since Christmas is falling on a Saturday, we decided to give them off the day after or day before Christmas Eve. So 23rd, 24th, we will be closed. So tomorrow and the 24th, we will be returning to work on the 27th. I will give a little plug here. So the music you heard was actually my buddy Josh and my buddy Max. They have a little group called From Zero to Z, and if you hear music on this channel, chances are it's probably from them. If you guys are into like kind of 8-bitty music, you know, some alternative rock, that kind of stuff, make sure you guys check them out. I do subscribe to their they have Bandcamp and everything, so, and he lets me use the music on the channel without getting struck. So and I like his jams, so make sure you guys check them out. There is a link in the video description. So we are not going to cap this at a certain time. My plan is to do the Ask Tim here for about an hour, and then I'm going to light up another stream. We're going to test out the multi-streaming, and I think I just have to, what's what I'm looking for? I think I can't pre-schedule streams if I do multi-stream, which is kind of a pain. Yeah, I don't know how I would do that, because I use OBS, Streamlabs version, and it allows me to multi-stream, but the problem is it doesn't allow me to stream to an already existing YouTube event. So like this event you guys are watching was pre-scheduled on the channel, and you know, has its own unique URL, and it wanted me to make a new one, which would then leave this one hanging. So, but let's see, let's get into the questions here, because that's what we're here for. I don't really have anything of importance to note. I will be launching the Ender 6 enclosures the first or second week in January. I'm just coordinating getting all the supplies and materials in to actually get them produced, and they will be made here in the US of A, America. So there's that. I've just been trying to play catch up with everything going on here. Just a lot of changes, not really a ton of changes business-wise, but personally. And I only have so many hours in the day, and I have been doing better at not overworking myself, because an overworked Tim is a grumpy Tim, and nobody likes that. So meant I've been a little less productive than I normally am, just because of everything else going on in my life. So sorry, not sorry. Hashtag self-care. Is that a thing? I feel like it's a thing. Anyways, my apologies. I wish I could clone myself. It would make my life a lot easier. So let's see here. What other, what questions do we have here from the chat and the peanut gallery here? Let's see here. We need a tour of the shop. That is a good idea. I feel like that might not be a good live stream. I feel like that'd be something I should shoot and like kind of do it when we're in the middle of everything going on, so you guys can kind of get a feel. We run a pretty lean team here. We've got 2 people, typically 2 full-time people, Sean and Danielle, in our shop. Occasionally, my buddy Joe, you guys might know him from Project R3D. He'll come in, and he kind of serves as my operations manager to kind of whip things into shape when I'm not around or I'm, you know, just too busy. And then we've got our support team, which consists of Peter, who's our support team lead, and we got Mac and Tor. If you guys have ever contacted our support, there's chances are you will probably have interacted with one of those 3 people. Tor is typically on live chat, and he does go on tickets sometimes, and Mac is on tickets, and Peter's also on tickets. So if you guys have what's the word I'm looking for? If you guys have interacted, go ahead and, you know, post a comment in there. I'm curious to see, but generally the feedback has been pretty positive. We've been doing a pretty good job at making sure people are happy. So let's see. In terms of questions, I want to see if there are any questions here. Let's see. See Peter Anderson said 200 characters for asking questions sucks. Love the opportunity to be able to ask questions though, but sometimes you need to explain yourself. Well, we do have the Discord server. There is a link in the video description, and I do have the Discord live streams channel up on my stream right now. So if you guys want to check that out, go ahead and click that, join the Discord server. I think we've got, man, I'm going to check right now so I don't misquote. How many people we got in here? We have 4,100 members in our Discord server. I should probably try to see if we can get partnered again. Remo, we are not starting stuff. You were just out. Go lay down. So anyways, yeah, if you want to post like a longer form question, it's totally cool if you want to be like, hey, I have a question. I posted it in the live streams, and just like maybe put your Discord username in there so I can cross-reference. So I do have that up. So if you guys need to share a link, you want to share a photo, that kind of stuff, or even a video that goes along with your question, go ahead and post it in that Discord channel. So that's the only one I check. So if you post it anywhere else in Discord, I'm not going to see it while I'm on live streams. I literally have that channel up, and I don't look at anything else. So let's see, Vincent, my wife bought a Chiron for me. I can't open until December the 25th. I already bought a LCD upgrade kit and a flex plate. What power supply do you recommend if I wanted an external solution? So I'm assuming, I don't know if you saw the video on here. There is literally a video, and I'm pulling up our channel here. There's a video where I go over what I did because the Chiron power supply in mine just bit the dust. And it is a hangout stream. It's only an hour long, so it's not too much to watch, but I did put a link to the STL file I made for the Chiron bracket. It's a free download, but you can, you know, pay a couple bucks if you want. It's one of those name your price thing, and you can put $0 if you feel my work is not worth anything. I kid. But yeah, you can either give us a little tip or just download it for free. But there's a video going over how I put that all together. I used the RSP600. I thought I put a link to it in the video. Maybe it's on the actual. No, it's on the information's on the act. What is playing? Something is playing music and it's throwing me off. Oh. The live stream for the Chiron. Anyways, so this is what I put in mine. The stock PSUs, there's 2 PSUs in that printer, one for the board and one for the bed. I'm using the SE624. It's a Meanwell. That's the only thing powering the printer, the main board and the bed, and it's in our print farm, and it has been running nonstop since I put it out there. And Sean, who's our print farm guy, he's had no issues with it. So, and all we've done to that one is I did the tough tube. I did the Easy ABL on there, our LCD kit, Easy Flex, change the power supply out of necessity because the stock one was terrible and didn't work. And then there's one other thing, a 5015 like layer fan upgrade. So, and I think I did all that in that same video. I'm trying to remember if I did all of that because I upgraded the wiring, which you don't need to do. I think that was just the bed, I think. I'm double checking. It's hard to keep all these streams straight. Let's see, upgrade stream. Okay, that's Ender 6. Where's the Chiron? Chiron PSU. After hours. Okay, yeah, there's a separate one. So upgrade the Chiron fan, 5015 fan, hot end fan, tough tube. That's another one I did, and I did the Easy ABL on there. So if you want to kind of follow in my footsteps, I've been very happy with it, and it's been actually keeping up with the demand from our print farm. So, you know, in my book, if a printer can hold up in that type of environment where we are printing on it nonstop, you know, that tells me it's a halfway decent machine. So, anyways, enough about the Chiron. There's 2 good videos if you want to check that out. And I think there is a playlist too. We are going to start doing playlists. One of the stuff we discussed with the support team for each printer. So as we do live streams and upload videos, we're going to add those videos to playlists for different printers. So like, oh, you have a Chiron. Here's the TH3D Chiron playlist. So let's see. Peter Anderson is asking, who is TH3D Studio? Or is it just a general account or is it someone special? TH3D Studio YouTube account is literally me. Anytime you guys see social media posts, anytime you see news posts on our website, that's literally me. I do all of that here. We're not fancy enough to have a marketing department. So let's see. Remember, I'm on Hoogland time. Sometimes I am on Hoogland time. I'm just going to blame the ADHD on that one because I have no concept of time, but I've been getting a lot better. This time I got stuck with OBS and taking too long in the shop because I was talking to everybody before they headed out for the extended weekend. Let's see. Did I reboot? I did. I'm looking here. Derek is asking, Tim, can the Easy Flow nozzle be used with polycarbonate and PC/CF? Yes, absolutely. The Easy Flow nozzles are a good all-around nozzle. You can feed abrasives through them. You could feed non-abrasives through them. Polycarbonate, PLA, PETG, ABS, ASA, TPE, TPU, they will hold up to all the wear and tear and abuse that you can throw at them. So, they are more expensive than your standard nozzles, but the plating on them the plating on them holds up to all the abrasives. And the nice thing is that the actual core nozzle itself is made out of a copper alloy, and it conducts heat very well. So you not only get wear resistance on them, but you also get improved heat transfer. And in my experience, I've actually been able to crank up my print speeds a little bit faster just by changing to those nozzles. And even some cases, if I'm printing at my normal, 60 to 80 millimeters a second, sometimes I have to drop my print temp down by as much as 10 degrees Celsius because it's so efficient at transferring the heat from the block into the filament that I'm actually running a little too hot now. So, but yeah, if you're looking for just an all-around nozzle and, $15 for a nozzle doesn't scare you, it's basically industry standard for a higher-end nozzle, then it's a good nozzle. Just throw in your printer and never have to worry about what you feed through the machine because the nozzle is just going to handle it without any issues. Those of you that are new, you may not know that certain materials like, carbon fiber, some of them that are metal-filled, wood fill isn't really too abrasive as far as I know. But glow in the dark is another one that people don't realize. Those type of filaments have additives in them that will literally ream out your nozzle. So if you don't use something like a steel nozzle or something that's plated or a specific wear resistant ones, there's, everybody's got variations of them. You will quickly go from having like a 0.4 nozzle to a 0.6, 0.8, or even 1 as time goes on if you keep printing abrasives on them. And it can be really quick. I've seen your carbon fiber ream out a 0.4 brass nozzle in as little as a quarter of a roll. So it's not like, oh, we can get away with it for a little bit, maybe a roll or two. My experience has been it's very quick, especially with glow in the dark as well. So just keep that in mind. Most of my machines in my office here have our Easy Flow nozzles in them. A few of them in the print farm do. The reason all the ones in the print farm don't is because we don't print abrasives on there. My machines in here are mostly used for custom jobs and my own personal stuff. So the chances of me using something that could be abrasive is much higher on my personal machines in my office here versus ones in our print farm that are printing ABS and PLA over and over again, where we're not having to worry about those nozzles getting reamed out. So let's see. Scott Latina's in here. I see Scott. I'll give Scott a shout out. How you doing, Scott? Hopefully, probably a lot warmer than it is up here in the Midwest. But good to see you around, alive and kicking. Let's see here. Oh, Peter said it's been watching the stream has been the highlight of the week since I started watching. I appreciate that, man. I really do. Like, I do enjoy doing this, and I'm sorry I'm late sometimes. I am working on it, okay? Let's see. I'm looking here. I'm waiting for chat to jump. It's going to do it. There it goes. Where is it? I saw someone asking about the Ender 5 Dual Z kits. I have them. They've been put on hold just because life has been chaotic for me. It sucks because I have the parts. I just have to compile everything and get the documentation done and make sure that we have everything sorted. Like, you guys get all the parts and there's actual directions on how to use it instead of here's a box of parts, figure it out. That's not how we roll here. So Peter Anderson's asking, he's wondering if he can run an Ender 5 on a 350 watt power supply if he uses a 220 volt heated bed controller. The Ender 5, if you're running a AC bed on your Ender 5, you could even go down to a 150 watt power supply because the biggest load on your printer is a bed. But the Ender 5, not the 5 Plus, the Ender 5, and that goes for the 5 Pro as well, those ship with 350 watt power supplies, and what we sell as a replacement for the stock power supply is a 350 watt Meanwell power supply. So yes, you can run a 350 watt it will be overkill. So if you have to replace your power supply, and you're running an AC bed, you could go down to like 150 watt and save yourself a couple of bucks. The only downside is then the screw holes are probably not going to match up. You know, if you're not concerned about saving like literally, I don't know, $10 to $15, then just put a 350 watt Meanwhile in there. The LRS 350 is a good series. So, but let's see. So Spasmatic, he's got his easy board all set up. I tried out Linear Advance, but couldn't figure it out. Yeah, Linear Advance is one of those things that I've played with on and off, and I just don't see that big of a difference with it. I feel like it causes more issues than it solves. So I just don't run Linear Advance. But you're saying now your extruder makes a little squeaky noise. That is normal because in our firmware for our board and other boards that have controllable drivers addressable through firmware, is because we run the E motor in what's called spread cycle mode, which is what Trinamic recommends for their 2208 and 2209 drivers, and even other ones that have what's called stealth chop. So spread cycle mode is a higher torque mode that still has the 256 has the 256 step per millimeter interpolation, but it's not as quiet. So what we do is we run the E motor in that spread cycle mode, which gives it more torque so you don't lose steps, because your extruder motor needs a lot more torque than your X and Y and even Z. But the trade-off is you do get kind of like a little high-pitched squeaky noise coming from the motor, and that's completely normal. It's actually in the EasyBoard FAQ on our website. You can try disabling stealth or spread cycle by going through the menu, and you can literally just toggle it on and off. I do not recommend this because while some people will probably chime in or even post online that, oh yeah, I run spread cycle on my E motor, I don't have any step loss, my experience has been more often than not I will get step loss at some point if I'm running my extruder motor in a stealth chop mode. And I feel like I do get that sometimes with the Creality boards that are stuck in stealth chop mode. The workaround for that, if you have a board that's stuck in stealth chop mode, is to go ahead and up the current going to the motor, but then it runs hotter. So, but Trinamic recommends you run your E motor in spread cycle mode, not stealth chop, for best performance. And, I don't want to put firmware out there, because if I put a firmware out that puts it in spread cycle mode or stealth chop mode instead of spread cycle mode, we run the risk of getting tickets saying, well, I updated the firmware and now my prints look like crap and there's holes in them, because you can have step loss, and everybody's printer is different. Our engineer Griffin, he runs his in stealth chop mode despite it not being the recommended one, and he doesn't have issues. Whereas in my testing, I've had more than half the machines I've ran in stealth chop mode lose steps. So I just stick everything in spread cycle and not, so I don't have to worry about it. Because chances are if I see under extrusion, I'm not going to think, and you're not going to hear it either, skipping steps because it's so quiet. I don't want to have to keep that in mind when I'm troubleshooting print quality issues. So let's see. Hugo Q says he's got, what's my take on Two Trees? I will not touch Two Trees printers. They're bad quality, and the company is not good at all. They're a terrible company. I have a very, very strong hatred, or not hatred. I have a strong dislike towards Two Trees, because they're just a shady company that puts out poor quality products and they don't stand behind them. Yeah. Let's see. Eric is asking, what causes the Ender 6 Z stoppers to disengage during easy ABL tuning? When I get my bed to 0 and tweaking center, my bed starts dropping to Z5. So there is a known bug, and there's really not much you can do other than adjust slowly. I have had my Ender 6 do this occasionally, and it's something to do with the drivers, and they basically panic. So if you do Z stepping too quickly, like doing, baby stepping, rotating the knob on the screen, what can happen is the driver freaks out and it shuts down and it just stops moving. And then you just power cycle the machine and it'll be fine. It's not an actual physical issue, but the problem is because those drivers are in a standalone mode, we can't actually tell them to go into a different mode to prevent them from panicking or even do what's called square wave stepping, to get around that. Basically, my recommendation is just to go slow when you're adjusting the Z offset and not do it very fast. So my Ender 6 will do that from time to time if I am resetting it and I don't go slow when I'm setting my Z offset. It was a problem that happened on some other boards, like on our EasyBoard V1. We had the Z drivers panic, but I was able to issue a firmware patch to fix that so they don't do that anymore. The problem is you can't do that on the Ender 6 stock board because there's no control between the CPU and the driver. So the workaround is to just do the adjustment slow so you don't cause the Z driver to panic. One thing you could do is set the Z offset without it actually printing, and then just fine tune when you start a print. Let's see here. Dimitri, do I have a Prusa compatible flex plate? I do not have any Prusa compatible flex plates. We used to have them, but we discontinued them because that's not the market we're in. So let's see here. Vincent is asked, do I have a mount, an STL mount for the EasyABL? All of our mounts that we have are in our Unified 2 firmware, or I keep saying firmware pack because that's what it used to be in our Unified 2 STL pack, which is accessible at a, subdomain, which is stlpack.th3dstudio.com. Vincent, if you watch the instruction video and or read the directions, we do tell you where to get those. So just keep that in mind. Read the directions, please. Don't be one of those people. It's kind of a sore spot. I worked in IT for a while, so, read the manual. I put a lot of time into the videos and manuals for our stuff. I'm very proud of them. So make sure you guys do actually read the product documentation. I try to cover every little thing so that way there's no, you aren't wasting your time asking questions that are already answered, and you're not wasting the support people's time answering questions that are already answered. So, all right, let's see. Jimbo is asking, what would you recommend as the best budget large size printer currently along the lines of the Enders in terms of budget? So I should probably preface this, but it's probably not going to do much. I need to know, when you guys are asking what recommendations would I give for a certain printer, telling me large print size printer tells me nothing. I'm going to assume more than an Ender 3. But it could be anywhere from, your idea of large could be a CR10, which is like 300 by 300 for the XY. Other people's might be an S5, which is a 508 by 508. So I can't give a good recommendation unless I know what kind of print area you're looking for. And my recommendation is, if you're not entirely sure what size print area you need, I would highly recommend determining that and getting the smallest printer that will suit your needs. Because if you get a printer that's bigger than what you need, then you're going to end up with compromises such as not being able to print as fast because you're dealing with a larger bed, if it's a bed flinger, or just more trouble because the larger the machine you go, typically the more unruly they can get. So chat jumped. I'm trying to find out where I was. Chat jumped. There we go. I think we're getting back to where we were. Yeah, we are. Okay, so David, sorry I missed your question, but I'm coming back. Oh wait, no, there's not a question, but I'll just read it anyways. Got my EasyBoard V2 installed, my Ender 5 Plus, change out the hot end fan, part cooling fan, case cooling fan, put a large fan with a new printed PSU cover, nice and quiet. Glad you got that. I'm going to yell at you though. Do not put a printed power supply cover on your power supply. Power supply covers should be a metal cover. That's why power supplies ship with the metal covers. The main reason is that, and I'm shutting my phone off because it's going crazy right now. The power supply covers should be metal covers. The thing is, especially when you get into bigger power supplies where they have larger components and they have more potential to go boom, if something does go wrong, you are now removing a metal cover that can keep the explodey parts inside, and replacing it with something that's more flammable than metal. So even though, like, my whole thing is, don't do it your potential fire if something does go wrong is not worth your printer being a little quieter. So that's my opinion. I have a very strong opinion on that. That if you do that, it's a terrible idea, and people that tell others to do it are kind of dumb. So don't do that. Just looking out for people's safety here. Dimitri K, what keyboard and mouse do I use? You're going to laugh. It's kind of older. I got an MX518 for my mouse, and then I've got an old K95 Platinum. So, yep, I am using these till they die. Let's see here. I am looking. Nemo Griff, white PLA can eat through brass too. I've not had issues with white PLA. That's interesting. I guess it depends on the brand and what they use to actually color it. Let's see. I am looking here. PW's Electronics, if it wasn't so windy in Indiana, Michigan lately, it would feel warmer. Yes, it would. It's not too cold, but it has been very windy. Albino Tree says, my printer nozzle isn't getting hot and it throws an error. Heating failed, E1, printer halted, please reset. Is my motherboard fried? I'm about to replace my heater cartridge as my first step. So that's a good first step. What I would do before you even pull that heater cartridge out of the printer is to check the resistance across the two wires going to the heater cartridge. So just a ballpark, if you take a multimeter and you read the resistance across the two wires, if it's a 12 volt heater, it'll probably read about 3 to 5 ohms of resistance. If it's a 24 volt heater cartridge, it'll read anywhere from 13 to 15 typically, and this is going off of values for a 40 watt rated cartridge, which are usually the ones with the red wires. If for some reason you read across the wires and you do have resistance, the next thing to check would be to tell the printer to turn its hot end output on, tell it to heat up, and then check to make sure there's actually power coming out of the screw terminal or the connector, depending on what the printer is, and make sure that there's actually power going out of that terminal or connector going to the heater cartridge. Because if the heater itself is reading a normal resistance, but it's still not heating up, it could indicate that the MOSFET on the control board failed, and that's why it's not getting power. If the heater cartridge reads a very high resistance or it's completely wide open, that would indicate that it is a bad heater cartridge, and or the wiring going from the board to the heater cartridge is faulty. So you got to make sure to rule those out. If I have heating issues and it's not physically getting hot, the first thing I will check, the first thing I will check is to make sure that the resistance across the heater cartridge is consistent. And I will also, with the multimeter leads on the two wires, I will also move them around, like move the wires around, to make sure that there's not like an intermittent break in the cable, because I have had issues where if the head is parked at its home position, it will heat, but then as it moves around, it will stop heating because there's an intermittent break in the wire, and depending on where the print head is at, it will make connection despite the break in certain locations, and in other locations it's wide open. So those are always fun to troubleshoot. If I still get heating errors after I've done that, it's like, oh, the resistance looks good, and it still acts up, I will then just go and replace the entire heater cartridge and all the wiring along with it, just to rule everything out. So let's see. R. Mills is asking, the Meanwhile power supplies have a temp-based fan on them, right? It depends. Some of them are always on. Some of them come on only when they're needed, depending on the temperature. It really depends. So let's see. Jason is asking, I'm trying to put EasyBoard V2 into my Ender 6. It's homing in the wrong direction. I'm positive I have it set correctly in the firmware as I copied my old firmware config. Well, the EasyBoard V2 isn't officially supported in there. I don't know if you're using a DIY config or not to do that, but that's a Core XY printer. Typically, if it's homing in the wrong direction, and you have it set to home to max, I believe the Ender 6 homes to max on X and Y. I'm looking at mine. Yes, it does, because it homes in the back right corner. If you have the firmware set to home to max on X and Y, and it's still homing to the front, the 0 position, you're going to want to reverse one or both of the XY motor directions. I can't remember off the top of my head. All I know is I remember when I built a few Core XYs and stuff was going the wrong way, I would change one motor direction in the firmware and then tell things to move. And if they were moving correctly, I'd leave it. And if they weren't, I would change it back and then change the other one and see. Sometimes it needed both change. Other times it only needed one change. So let's see here. I'm looking for looking for any other questions. So, and it shouldn't matter what you have for the X and Y plugs. It's going to be firmware settings. You can all change that around in firmware. With a Core XY, it really doesn't matter which one is X and which one's on the X driver, which one's on the Y driver. It really depends on how you set up in the firmware. And then at the end of the day, if it goes the direction it's supposed to go when you tell it to move, then that means everything's connected and set up correctly. So let's see. Oh, and the other thing too is you can change the setting in Marlin from Core XY to Core YX. That will also change things around too. Let's see. John Grappe says, enjoying the new kangaroo cake. Sorry. Ugh. I like the night mode, but it makes me yawn. I have to take this off. Otherwise, I'm going to be yawning the entire stream, and we don't want that. Let's see. He said he's enjoying the KP3S. A little bit of a dome in the middle of the print bed. Any thoughts on how to remove it? Remove magnetic surface and replace. If it's on the aluminum bed, your really only option is going to be to use some sort of auto bed leveling system, unless you want to take it off and somehow flatten the bed, which I've never had luck with because it's cheap aluminum and it's going to change its curvature as you heat and cool. Could be their magnetic surface. It's hard to tell. It's probably more likely the bed. And at that point, auto bed leveling comes in handy unless you want to get another bed machine or see if they'll replace it for you. I know some people will shim the bed, but I'm not a big fan of that. I just throw an auto bed leveling on there and just, that's it. Let's see. Here, this is an old one here. So I got 2 used CR10Ss. What would cause the hot end to not keep temp more than the 7+ degree swings? It's got socks and new thermistor and heater cards. Ran PID several times. Made sure it's safe. It won't start a print. That is because you probably, I would put money on it, that you probably have boards that have the Creality 5-volt rail issue that I discovered years ago. This is probably 3 or 4 years ago, where there were temperature swings all the time. And the thing is, because Creality basically masked these issues with crappily set up firmware, no one noticed the difference until they started updating or it got really bad. There are some videos on this channel, but honestly, at this point, I would just replace the control boards with something else. Like our Easy board would be a good replacement for that. If you want something cheaper, you can go with the 427 Creality boards. But you probably, if they're older and they're used, they're probably running those boards that had the temperature issue, which was a 5-volt rail issue. That would be my guess. I think those were the V2.0s. If it's a CR10S, it'd be the V2.0s, and I think the V11, the 111s, 112s, 113s, and 114s were all affected by those as well. But the workaround was to add a filter cap to the 5-volt output to make it so it was more stable. So basically, there were issues with the regulators they used. They were knockoff LM2596s on the 2560 baseboards, and the other ones were some other, I think it was like an MP something, monolithic power regulator. But the problem was it was dirty power and it was causing the hot end temperature to go all over the place, because that 5-volt rail is responsible for powering the thermistors, and then the chip, the CPU, reads the voltage coming through the thermistor to determine what temperature it's at, or not the voltage, the resistance. And that reference was based on the 5-volt. So if that 5-volt rail is going like this, the temperature is also going like this because that reference point is changing. So let's see. So Nadav says, follow from last stream, after I loosened up the Y, I'm assuming you mean the belt. Do you remember this? On the CR10, I did it 50-hour print, no issues at all. Good. I'm glad I was able to remember something. Peter Anderson, suggestion for a product. I hate soldering stuff, so I'd really like an LM 7812 24 to 12 volt converter to easily use Noctua fans on a 24 volt printer. Would you consider it? Those are a very generic part. That's basically a DC to DC step down. And you should be able to find those fairly easily. And the thing I found is the people that are using the Noctuas on there, even though I'm not a big fan of them, they usually have no issues soldering up a little, you know, it's not a buck converter, but it's a step down converter. So I see Thomas open the box. I will open the box. I forgot Tom sent me a box here. I will. Let's see. Spencer, I am. As former IT, the documentation is good. I appreciate that. We've all been working on it. John Reed from Vermont, $25. I appreciate it, man, even though you've all been naughty. Well, guess what, John? I'm gonna give away that money that you just gave me by giving away some gift cards at the end of the stream. So how's that? RAM design. My Anycubic Mega S screen is not working. In a few areas. I use Octoprint, would like to have a screen. If I purchase a screen on the counter, would it work for the Mega S? The answer is no. The Mega S, I believe, has an MKS Gen L board on it, so you could disconnect that touchscreen and put a 12864 screen on there, like the red one that we sell, not the Creality one, but the generic rep one. And just run some custom Marlin firmware on there. I have an Anycubic Mega S, I believe. I gotta go through my random printers I have. I've been clearing out old machines. But you don't need any special adapters. You just have to design a part to mount that screen to the printer. And that was on my list of ones that I kind of wanted to do, and I can't remember if I got rid of that printer because it was older and I thought it wasn't going to be worth the trouble, or if it's still sitting collecting dust in my garage. But we are cleaning out the garage today, so, well, not cleaning out, but organizing and cleaning up, I should say. Marcel is looking for a replacement board for the King Room KP3. Unfortunately, unless you want to do a ton of work, just buy whatever the OEM was, which I think was a Robin Mini. Does that sound correct? I think it was an MKS Robin Mini in those, or the Nano. I can't remember. Either Robin Mini or the Nano. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But I would just, if my KP3S board went out, I'm just going to go buy the OEM one because I don't feel like recabling the whole damn thing. Hang on one second. My nose is really bothering me. My apologies. It's getting dry here, and my nose is not a fan of that. Let's see. Tom Taylor, I had a blown capacitor bulge my metal case on a power supply. Plastic could be a real problem. Yes. I'm not... knock on wood, I haven't had that catastrophic of a failure. But it's not something I want to mess with just to save on some noise level. Krista's super late. She's packing the candy. If you guys are hanging out in Discord, you'll see her. Feel free to bug her. But she's helping out with getting the little candy pack-ins, and I appreciate it. So make a little extra money on the side and pack some candy in. So, but yeah, be nice to her. She's my girlfriend. But also don't let her slide. Anyways, let's see. Tommy O, will the tough extruder work on the CR10 V2? If so, what mount to use? Yes, it will. In mount, I feel like I have that we designed and I haven't released it yet. Alan Kilgore, question for you on Discord. All right. I'm pulling up my, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm pulling up my Fusion because I think we already designed one. I can't remember if it was for the CR10S Pro or if it was for the CR10 V2. I think they might use the same one. There's a bunch of projects that I had people start here, and they're basically done. And I haven't had time to circle back and, like, get everything fixed. So, give me a second here. I am finding... I'm logging into my Fusion here to see if I have that file. Two-factor. Hang on, let's see. Sorry, I'm like multitasking here. I'm trying to read comments and log into things. So the tough extruder will work on a CR10 V2 is the short answer. The thing is the mount for it. I can't remember if the V2 needs a special mount or not. I need to check really quick. Hang on. I got to look up the CR10 V2 versus versus the CR10S Pro. I'm looking here. CR10 V2. I'm looking to see if there's like a community made design already, or if the one I have will work. Let's see. I don't see anything. And I don't have my V2. Did I give that away? Oh, Doug has it. Doug comes and takes my unloved printers. And I'm trying to remember what that looks like. Someone posted a picture of their CR10 V2 in chat. I'm trying to remember if that is the same as the CR10S Pro. I think it is. And if it is, I think I already have a mount design for that. Extruder mounts, let me see here. CR10S Pro Tough Extruder. I'll tell you what, because this was one we were going to post on the site. Who is asking that? Tommy. Oh, Tommy, you have me as a friend on Discord. Send me a message. I'll send you the STL, and you can print it out and see if that's going to bolt up. I think it will. And I'll show you guys why I think it will. Because I believe they use this. I could be wrong, but I believe they use the same bracket for the extruder. And if it works on the V2, it'll probably work on the Pro. But I don't have the other one to check it. So let's see here. So if we look at the so here's a CR10S Pro with a Bondtech. So the stock one is like that weird dual gear. But you can see here the CR10 V2 has a very, very similar mounting bracket to the CR10S Pro. It's been a while since I had one in person, but I believe that it should work. So, and the file I have is this guy here. I haven't made it pretty and add like fillets and stuff, but this was dated. It was 6/11/21. So, yeah, I think Jerry actually designed this. So I got to make it look pretty, but I'll send you this and you can test it out. And eventually this will be on the site if it works. I totally forgot about this. I still have our CR10S Pro here. I need to replace the bed MOSFET because it is quite toasty. So, yeah. Let's see. I'm looking in the questions again. Vincent, have you had any requests to review the Quiddy X Max? They have a port for our bed leveling, but the firmware doesn't support it. I wonder if you had something that would work. I have not reviewed any Quiddy X Max printers. I haven't had any requests for any of the Quiddies. The Quiddy ones are, I believe aren't those FlashForge knockoffs? Or MakerBot knockoffs, whatever you want to call them. They're in that same kind of realm. They're very compact and they're kind of proprietary if I'm remembering correctly. I could be wrong. Let's double check. I don't like putting out wrong information here. Let's see. Quiddy X Max. I'm pulling this up. Man, their site takes forever. Still not loading. Yeah, this is kind of one of those ones where I'll screen share here. Yeah, they're really expensive, and they're basically, these are printers that you just use stock. I see a touchscreen here. I would say I probably wouldn't even put the time into it. I see a network port here. When I see stuff like that, when I look at a printer, I see, oh, it's got a touchscreen, it's got a weird network port, it's got a USB for a flash drive. It probably, it's probably not going to be very easy to modify. So I typically stay away from those type of printers personally because I like modifying my printers. You know, I have kind of taken a step back of how intensely I go and modify the printers. But those are ones I would stay away from just because they're going to be a pain. So I see Alan, he said a question on Discord. I'm assuming you're Bulldog 8484. He says, I got 26 printers. Yes, I have a problem. I have over 60, so those are rookie numbers. And 18 of them are Core XY, 15 of them are enclosed, and 3 of those are PEEK/PEI capable. Oh, you got the Fundament HT. Someone's got a lot of money to blow, and or they're single. That I picked up at a bank sale. I would like to get into rapid prototyping, small quantity manufacturing, etc., but I'm not really interested in selling trinkets and toys on Etsy. I've gotten very good with ABS, PC, and PA, even done some PPSU. I'm also learning modeling of Fusion 360. Do you have any advice on how to get going, or who would be the right group of people to talk to if I do this? I want to do it right. So if you have the machines dialed in and you're able to produce parts, I can tell you right now as a somebody that does custom print job requests, the biggest problem you're going to get is people giving you files that are not, ready to print. They're not manifold, there's multiple parts, but it's one STL file, and being able to repair those. Like, I've gotten files from huge companies that you would think wouldn't be sending out files that were not manifold, and they're not. I have to clean up files for huge companies. We're talking like richest companies in the world type of companies that we've done prototyping for. And they send us files that have to be cleaned up. That's the biggest thing, because if you don't catch that and you don't have that as part of your workflow, it's going to make the prints very hard and you may not catch it. But in terms of finding those clients, there's stuff like, I believe it's Shapeways and 3D Hubs are more professional-based print service aggregators. That would be the best way to start out to at least get your name out there. I would probably pack in like little business cards and stuff. And have a site and stuff set up where people can contact you, and do that, so at least you can get that lead through these third-party services and list your printers available on there, so you can start getting those leads and getting things rolling to actually start making your printer generate, income. But, you're going to have to find what, are you going to do a general, like, are you just going to target businesses in general? Are you going to target certain, sectors of the market? Like, you're going to go after automotive, you're going to go after... I don't know, aerospace or something. I'm blanking out on different things, but hopefully you get what I mean. Like, I would probably, if I was going after a specific, or if I was trying to ramp that up, I would start with a specific group or niche or market to go after in terms of who I'm marketing my services towards, and then go from there. I can tell you right now, like, I have friends that do both higher level stuff, commercial contracts, and I also have friends that do Etsy stuff. My brother Doug, Top at Waffle, you see him in here, he does stuff on Etsy, and it's extra money, but you have to deal with end users, and the general public. I can tell you, no offense to anybody watching, dealing with businesses and education is a lot more relaxed environment. You don't get a lot of people yelling and screaming because there's one little tiny thing wrong. I would highly recommend going into like the commercial space or educational space as your target. It's going to be a better experience and less headaches. So I don't blame you selling trinkets and toys on Etsy. It can get very nitpicky. So I'm pretty sure there's people watching right now that probably have Etsy shops and know exactly what I'm talking about. But you got to kind of just get your foot in the door somewhere. Hopefully somebody. If you want to send me an email, actually, my team get it over, because I do have friends that sometimes get overflow work, and I might be able to put you in touch with somebody. So no promises, but if I have your information, your capabilities, I can at least, if something comes up, pass it on to the right people if they need you as like a backup or something. Or hell, if we get something we can't do here, because we don't mess with any of the high temp filaments like PEEK and PEI. So, and I have no interest in doing that. Let's see here. Chris Polk says, are there any brands or types of wires you consider more bulletproof than other? So brands, not really. I'm not a brand snob for wires. But in terms of applications, that's something you have to consider. If you got something that's moving a lot, something that's a silicone wire is going to be a better choice, because it's going to withstand more repetitive strain and be less likely to break. But if you have something that's more static, then, standard stranded wire or even solid core wire is fine. Do not ever use solid core wire for stuff that's moving. But it really depends on the application. The bottom line is, if you're doing something that's going to be moving, you should probably use something like silicone or a more flexible type of stranded wire. But I don't have any brand preferences for wire, so let's see. I'm looking here. Randall B. Dual Z kits. I hopefully will have the Ender 5 Dual Z kits out by the end of January. Like I said, just trying to regroup on everything. Randall B, 25 bucks. Give away some more. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking here. When are we bringing Smarties back? I don't know. We have Dum-Dums right now. It's been hard getting Smarties. Either they're overpriced or we can't get them. So we've been doing Dum-Dums, and quite frankly, I do like Smarties, but I do like Dum-Dum suckers as well. Cream soda is probably my favorite one. What's your guys' favorite Dum-Dum flavor? I'm just curious. So, Mark Line says, I just ordered an EasyBoard EasyABL for a Cypher Ender 3 Pro. Can't wait for it to show up. That's a good combo. Now, I will say, if you are new, and this is to anybody watching, if you are new, don't go head first into upgrading every little thing on your printer if you're new to the printing game. I highly recommend you suffer through and use a printer stock for about a month just so you can get the ins and outs and learn what it's like to use a basic machine. It'll also give you some more troubleshooting skills and also make you appreciate more later on when you do the upgrades what they bring to the table. So, you know, that's just my advice. It hurts sales, but that's what I tell everybody. It's what our tech support people tell people, because there's a lot of times where people get in over their heads and they don't have a basic understanding of how the machine works. And they go in and upgrade a ton of stuff, and then they're completely lost when it comes to troubleshooting anything. And, you know, it's difficult. So that's just my 2 cents. So, Zachary Tiller, I'm trying to get my EasyBoard Lite 1.2 working with Clipper. I have an EasyABL Pro. I'm stuck. Does the EasyABL use the same pins as the BL Touch? It does not. The EasyABL will use your Z end stop port. Now, I do not use Clipper. I do know that I think it was a Pulo in our Discord server made a sample config for the EasyBoard Lite 1.2. I know he's working on one for the V2.0. He has one of the first boards ever off the assembly line because he's working on a Clipper config for it. But he ended up moving in the middle of all of it, so he got behind. He's just getting all the stuff set up. So anyways, it uses the EasyABL will go on your Z end stop port, and it will function like a normally open end stop switch. So my audio is cutting in and out. Check, check, 1, 2. Is this any? I don't know. Is it still cutting in and out? I'm sorry. Someone needs to ping me on Discord or something if there's like issues, because by the time I get to the bottom, it might be too late. So, or send me a message if you have me on Telegram or something. Let's see here. All right. I'm looking for more questions here. We are going to do a giveaway, and then we're going to give the doggo his ceremonial end of stream TREAT. And then I will pop back on in about an hour. Let's say like an hour. I'm going to go outside, play with the BALL for a little bit with the dog, and then come back in, and I'm going to try to design a screen mount for this, which is a G-Tech A20. And I got a box of these. I bought these from an MCAS rep almost a year ago. These are they're 32-bit boards. They're like a drop-in, like Creality style board that I never did anything with, and I was going to put it in here. So you guys can watch me fumble through Fusion 360 as I try to design stuff. I'm not a CAD technician. I am very much let's fumble through it and hope for the best. So let's see. Radiation King says, I've seen more talk on filtering fumes, even for PLA. Do I use one, and does it have a high MERV rating? High MERV is better at absorbing VOCs. So I don't care. I'm not sensitive to fumes, and like I don't have asthma, so I don't really have a filter. I don't have filters on any of my printers. I do have HEPA filters in our print farm, and I do have one in my office here, and they're supposed to go down to 0.1 microns. I think that's it. I'm probably saying it wrong, but it's the one that's supposed to be able to absorb the like ABS particles and stuff. I'm not overly concerned about it, to be completely honest. I might regret that years down the road, but the fumes never bother me. You know, PLA, like, it has a sweet smell to it. If you printed it with it, you walk in our print farm, you smell the PLA. But I mean, if you guys are worried about it and you got the money to buy a nice filter, go for it. Me personally, I'm not that concerned with it. If you are that concerned and you don't have, you know, some of the filters, they get expensive. You know, put your printer out in a room that you're not going to be hanging out in, you know, or a garage or something. That would be my recommendation. Or, you know, just enclose it so they all, you know, most of the fumes and particles stay inside. Just be careful when you're enclosing a printer. If it is printing PLA, you can run the risk of getting heat creep. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here. Ashia says, hey, Tim, you ever seen Ender 3 V2 shove filament twice as fast as it should, but the correct distance / amount? I have not. I would just factory reset that, like do a EEPROM reset, so you can send an M502 followed by an M500 to reset the EEPROM. If it's got the stock firmware on it, I would update it to either whatever the latest Creality is, or my preference would be, obviously I'm biased, but it's free, would be to update it to our firmware. That's a weird one. If it's doing the correct distance or amount, it sounds like something weird's going on. And I know the Ender 3 V2s originally, those early LCD screens with the early firmware had weird issues with the extruder doing things it shouldn't. So... Mariah Wheat says, do the easy boards work at the Ender 6, or do you decide if you'll be putting together documentation on it? So I'm not marketing the easy boards for the Ender 6. It doesn't mean they can't work. It's just they're not a drop in experience like they are on other printers. I am getting frustrated though with my stock board on my Ender 6, so I have a feeling that doing a video showing how to swap it out is going to be in the near future, like next month, because I'm having issues like we were talking about the Z driver panicking on the Ender 6. I'm having that happen more and more on mine, and I don't feel like dealing with Creality trying to get a replacement. So as far as I know, the easy board will bolt up to the bolt holes. The main thing to remember if you're going to attempt a conversion is that they share pins on certain things like the thermistors and end stops. So you got to make sure those are correctly wired, and I don't know what needs to go where because I haven't taken the board out and tried to do the swap. I can do it, I just haven't done it yet. And that the SD slot will not be accessible from the LCD housing. So now I print over Octoprint. I'm not really concerned about not being able to get to my SD slot. You could always just leave the printer's bottom cover off and just tilt the printer up to get to the SD slot. But again, I use Octoprint, so I don't really care that I can't get to my SD slot without, you know, tilting the printer up. So, Jerry Fisher, was I at Murph this year? I was at Murph. I was not at Murph as a company. I was at Murph as Tim. It was nice to see some people, but honestly, it was underwhelming. If there was a Murph to miss, it would have been this year. Top of Waffle, end users, holy F. Yeah. Imagine getting a 1-star review because the 3D printed thing I sold isn't metal. Alan Kilgore, I was thinking automotive. So he was talking about doing prototyping. Automotive would be a good market. Got Honda, Mercedes, Kia, Hyundai, and Toyota all have plants within an hour of me. I also have a lot of aerospace in Huntsville, about 90 minutes from here. That sounds like you're in a good spot. I would definitely explore that. You'd be surprised. You know, worst case scenario, you reach out to them and they say no or nothing. Shoot your shot. So let's see. Trying to see if there's any other quick questions. Oh, there we go. Chat jumped. All right. Watermelon, pineapple, the random one, or butterscotch? Ew, butterscotch dum-dums? Ugh. Butterscotch is... Ugh. Ugh. You must be old. I feel like that's an old person flavor. Butterscotch. Oh, man. Oh, I see Reasonable Bing is here. How's your Chiron doing? Did you get it all set up with the new goodies? Let's see. I think we're we're getting to the end here. Nadav is asking, any more B-stock textured plates? I do have a B-stock list I have to update. I don't know what's on there. So we did get, what's it called? We did get more plates in 2 days ago. So stuff should be getting stocked on Monday or Tuesday. They were processing them. They might have already been stocked. I haven't checked. Danielle handles all that for me. So, but we got a bunch of plates in that were out of stock. So, let's see. Is that it? Or any more questions here? Robert Rossi is here. Haven't seen you in a while, man. Hope everything's going well. Put an easy board on the Ender 2. I do have the Ender 2 board here. I think I told you guys in the last ones, but in case somebody missed it, one of the pins is a ground pin on the 5 pins. You guys see that? The 1A, G, 1B, 2A, 2B. So it would make swapping a board difficult, I think. And I got an easy board too. Here, the holes do line up though. So you can actually see through them. So it would bolt up. It's just you'd have to put a new connector on the end. Let's see here. All right, I got sidetracked. What's in the box? Okay. What is with these spam bots? Are we actually like, you know, getting enough traction where we're getting spam bots here? Butterscotch? Ugh, yeah, I'm not a big butterscotch fan. All right, let's see what Llama sent me. I don't know what he sent me. I know one of the, I think in here is a MKS SGNL that he broke the SD slot on that I'm going to fix for him because I love you, Tom. I'll deal with your end user stupidity and I'll help you out. But it's a pity repair. All right, let's see what's in here. I think he just packed all his garbage in here. Dollar General bag. This is a nice bag. Feel like it could really hold the crap. Let's see. Yeah, so I think he accidentally sent me his trash. I don't see a Voron in here, though. Oh, boy. Wait, I thought you were sending me your control board. Tom, I told you I'd fix your control board. But apparently he made me something. Oh, you got the CNC machine. Oh, is this a clock? Did you make me a clock? Holy shit. Oh, this is fancy. Look at this. That is awesome. There's like a resin in here too. Look at that. Dude. This is awesome. I'm just going to have to go in the backdrop. What do you think? It's time for TH3D. That's freaking cool. But you didn't even give me a battery. I'm going to have to go dig through my battery drawer. I kid. This looks freaking awesome. This is like resin in here too. Damn. I appreciate this, man. This is awesome. I like your little hook here. Is this, what is it? Is this 14 gauge wire? I think this is 14 gauge wire. What do you guys say? I think it's 14. This is awesome. I'm going to have to put a battery in here and hang this up. Trade back for the battery. And here's the hands are right here. It looks like they glow in the dark. It looks like it. Let's see. I'm assuming they do. Do they glow in the dark? I don't know. I'm getting sidetracked here. Anyways, this is awesome. I was expecting you to send your board back for me to fix the SD card. I guess he said he got it caught and the slot popped off, or popped up, and I was going to fix it for him. I was expecting that to be in here, but apparently not. I don't know why my microphone is being weird. So, anyways, that's freaking awesome. So I opened up the oh, there's two sets of hands. Okay. I don't know if you put, there's no board in here. Anyways, I appreciate that. That's awesome. All right, back on track. So, one thing I do want to work on tonight on a little hangout stream, and I'll give you guys a little sneak peek, is, well, apparently my microscope doesn't want to come on. That was anticlimactic. Let's try that again. What the hell? I apologize, but apparently my camera is not. There it is. So, yeah, this got sent in. This guy had like this cheap fan he got from Amazon. This is an EasyBoard V2. It looks like just the FET kind of took a crap. But I think I can fix it for him. So, that's something I'm going to want to work on tonight. So if you guys want to see me try to do some surface mount board repair, it's been a little while. That's what I'm going to be doing later tonight. So we're just going to do a hangout stream, and yeah. So make sure you guys check your fans for shorts. Otherwise, that happens. For comparison, this is what it's supposed to look like. So that's what the FET is supposed to look like when it hasn't been shorted. And that's what it looks like after you've let the magic smoke out. So hopefully that little diode is there. It's a little flyback diode that we put on there. But should be good. Apparently Livestream Sources has the chat box in here. I did not realize it was still on here. Anyways, all right, so that will wrap that up. Have I gotten to everything? I have not. I have to give away stuff. I don't have to, but I guess if I change my beard to a lighter color, I could be like I'm Santa. All right, so that means I got to fire up Nightbot, which means I got to log in. Let's see. We're going to do... I'm going to regret doing this because chat's going to be nuts. So we got $50 in tips. We're going to... what are my gift card increments and amounts in? Because I don't have to do a custom amount because it's more work. Let's see. TH Reed gift card. We got 10, 25, and 50. So let's do this. Let's do a 25 and a 50. So we're going to do a 25 first. And then we're going to do 50. So, and for the 25, we're going to just do a random, we're going to do a keyword here. And if you are a channel member, Nightbot has a thing where it gives you 2 more luck, 2 times more likely to win a giveaway. So if you're a moderator, you are eligible to enter. If you work for me, you're not eligible to enter. I will disqualify you. Tor, Mac, Peter, if you guys are watching, you're not eligible. So let's see. We're going to make the keyword be Tim is a Grinch. How's that? So if you guys want to win a $25 or get a chance to win a $25 gift card, type Tim is a Grinch, all one word, and we will go ahead and do that. So while we're waiting for that, we're just gonna hang out here. And I think hey Remo, do you want? Okay, we have cookies from Cold Stone. They had dog cookies at Cold Stone, and I caved and I got some for him. Oh, do you know what these are? Do you want these? Yeah, you have to, no. You got to be good. That means no. You gotta be good. You gotta be good, boy. Come here. Sit. Ah. Shake. Speak. Ah. Speak. Woof. Give me a big woof. Woof. Close enough. There you go. He is so eager. He's still got that puppy, like, oh my god. Like, he starts out okay, and then he gets over threshold, and he's just crazy. He is very eager. So, alright. Alright, let's see. Let's see who won. 25. We'll give him another one. We're gonna roll it. Alright, Jay Smallwood. Jay Smallwood, you here? So, Jay Smallwood, you need to send an email to streams@th3dstudio.com. Just send like a screenshot of like your Google account showing your avatar and stuff, and I will send you a $25 TH3D gift card to your email. It's that simple. Yeah, so that's about it. So now we're going to, sorry about the side. Oh God, you guys are all 12. All right. Remo's like, I would like another treat, Father. Father, give me another treat. Do it now. All right. Let's see. The next one, this will be for the $50 one, and then we'll be wrapping it up. You guys are going to work for this. It's going to be chaos, and I love doing this. You guys are going to have to guess a number between 69 and 1337 because I'm 5 years old. So, go ahead. Do your guys' worst. RIP chat. Nightbot is picking it, not me. Let's see. This is gonna be good. We'll give it like a minute, and if nobody gets it, then we're just gonna. Oop. Stephen Poole was close. Stephen Poole was close. Nexon, you're too high. Let's see. Nexon's still too high. Stephen Poole, you're high. You're still high. I'm giving you guys clues if you're paying attention. Cassell, you're too high. Somebody was close. Hang on. Joe Camel was real close. Joe Camel was a couple off. Come on. Come on, we're narrowing it down. It's less than 750, but more than 700. Come on. Oh! Oh! Oh, man. Come on. Oh my God, this is taking forever. You guys are so close. Up. I think I saw Nightbot hasn't picked it up, but I think it looks like James. Why is Nightbot not picking it up? James, I don't know why Nightbot didn't pick you up, but the answer was 719. And I think James was the first one to guess 719. I don't know why Nightbot did not pick it up. Yeah, it still hasn't picked it up. I'm like looking on the screen. Yeah, someone double check. I'm pretty sure he was the first one. I'm not seeing any other entries for 719. Yeah, I'm searching here. He was the first one. James. Yeah. James got it. So send me an email with just like a screenshot of like your Matt had 719. Who had it first? I'm only seeing one. I'm only seeing the one in the chat here, and he was the first one to get 719. Yeah, I'm gonna call it for James because I'm looking at the chat. He was the first one. Yeah, Nightbot apparently is sleeping on the job. Still hasn't picked it up. It still says it's waiting. So, Remo, should we get? Do we want another bone? Can we speak? Speak. Oof. Give me. Why do you have such a wimpy speak? We're gonna have to work on that. You guys sound like a man. All right, guys. So I hope you guys had a fun time hanging out. I will pop another stream on right around, let's just say 7 o'clock, because we know if I say 6:30, I'm gonna be late. So let's just say 7 o'clock. Yeah, James, you will get a $50 TH3D gift card. So go ahead and shoot an email to streams@th3dstudio.com. Just post a screenshot or something to prove that it's actually you, and you will get a gift card, and that's it. So yeah, anyways, I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas. We'll be back next week with another Ask Tim. The 29th will be the last stream of 2021. And I'm going to make it special because it's also Remo's birthday. So make sure you guys join our stream notifications list. It's YouTube notifications. So if you guys look in the description, there's a link where you can sign up to get emailed when we go live or post new videos. The one for the last of the year will be a lot of fun. I think you guys will be excited when I post all the info. So it will still be an Ask Tim, but there will be other stuff going on with it. It'll be a little bit longer and a lot more fun. And it will also be Remo's one year birthday. So he will be turning 1. Why? You're not getting any more. No. But anyways, I hope you guys have fun. Make sure you guys check out our Discord server. Hope you guys have a safe and Merry Christmas. Remo, do you want to say goodbye? Come on. Q, come here. Q, come up. Come on. Up. Come on. There we go. Let's see. I don't know if you guys see how big this dog is. But if you go back, I think it was February, you can see how small he was. He's not small. We're over 90 pounds. So we breached 100 for a little bit, but you know, we stopped being a fatty and eating tons of food. So, but we're a good boy, aren't we? Most of the time. Yeah. Oh. Anyways, I will see you guys later, and I will see you guys at the fun hangout stream. Stop trying to eat the board. At 7 o'clock. So I'll see you guys later.